Saul's death reported to David. And it happened after the death of Saul, when David had returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, that David stayed for 2 days in Ziklag. And on the 3rd day, behold, a man came from the camp of the people of Saul with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he came to David, he fell to the ground and prostrated himself. And David said to him, Where have you come from? He answered, I have escaped from the camp of Israel. Then David said to him, What is this? Tell me. And he answered, The people fled from the battle, but many of the people were cut down and are dead. Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also. So David said to the young man who told him, How do you know that Saul and Jonathan his son are dead? Then the young man who told him said, As I happened by chance to be on Mount Gilboa, there was Saul leaning on his spear, and the chariots and horsemen followed hard after him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me. And I answered, Here I am. And he said to me, Who are you? So I answered him, I am an Amalekite. He said to me again, Please stand over me and kill me, for a terrible darkness has seized me, for all my life still remains in me. So I stood over him and killed him, because I was sure that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown that was on his head and the bracelet that was on his arm, and I brought them here to my lord. Therefore David took hold of his own clothes and tore them, and all the men who were with him tore their clothes. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and for Jonathan his son, for the people of Judah and for the house of Israel, because they were killed by the sword. Then David said to the young man who told him, Where are you from? He answered, I am the son of a resident foreigner, an Amalekite. So David said to him, How was it you were not afraid to put forth your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? Then David called one of the young men and said, Go near and deal with him. And he struck him so that he died. And David said to him, Your blood is on your own head, for your own mouth spoke against you, saying, I killed the Lord's anointed. Notes from the previous page. 1:1-12 David learns of Saul's death after his return to Ziklag from defeating the Amalekites. Torn clothing and earth upon the head of the messenger are a sign of mourning. The man is an Amalekite who claims to have killed the wounded Saul at his request. He brings both Saul's crown and his bracelet, v10, to David. There were either two stories concerning the death of Saul, or else this man seeks David's favor by confessing to Saul's death. See 1 kg 31:1, 6.